Yeah. And you mentioned sort of bands in there as well. Have you bands that you have played in? Have you generally been the only guitarist? The reason why I asked that is that delays can help if you're just the only guitarist in the band. Delays can help fill out that space.
Yeah.
Have you generally been in bands where you're the only guitarist, or?
Actually, yes. I've been in, when I was very young, 15, 16, I've been in some different bands that didn't really go anywhere. But at some point in time, me and some guys created a Van Halen cover band because I mistakenly told myself that I could play the Van Halen guitars. Not really sure I nailed it, but I don't know. We came pretty close. The band was called Jam Halen.
Oh, cool.
and it was like a Van Halen, a four-piece band, and I was the only guitar player. So I had a enormous wet, dry, wet setup.
Right.
Ginormous wet, dry, wet setup with
Wow.
3 4x12 cabs and a 12-unit rack system and the 5150 amp and the Wolfgang guitars, and I had the complete system. And I used the TC 2290 for the delays. So I played with tons of delays. And it made a difference when you are the only guitar player and you have this huge system, and you have the dry sound in the middle and the delays just ping pong in left and right.
Wow. And is there any?
Yes,
is there any YouTube videos of the band at all that I can check out? Or
yeah, I think there are some. Yes,
I'm going to check them
probably
out
not
later.
very good.
Yeah,
do that.
I've got it written down. I'm going to check them out. So you mentioned your board earlier. Have you got your board with us that you can show us? What sort of effects are you using at the moment?
I have. It is right here.
That's a pretty damn good board. I can see you've got Frank's All You Can Boost there. That's brilliant.
Exactly.
That is an awesome pedal.
Let's just start with that pedal, because I've tried a lot of boost pedals. Like a lot of boost pedals. And this one, the All You Can Boost, is absolutely fantastic. I do believe it's the best boost pedal. Yeah, you have the orange one.
Yeah, it is.
And it is the low, what's it called? Low high pass frequency. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
that makes all the difference on that pedal.
Yeah, the thing with that pedal for me is it's like boost. It's such a simple effect, isn't it? You boost the signal.
Yeah.
But with that, you've got so many options.
Yeah.
And it's like, before that came along, what could you actually, you'd think, well, okay, a boost pedal, what can you actually do more with a boost pedal? But Frank's actually shown, yes, you can do lots more with a boost pedal.
Yeah.
It's a great.
And with the two gain knobs, it actually becomes an overdrive pedal, because you can boost one of the boost circuits into the next and then overdrive the pedal itself. But still, I'm just going to say it again, the high pass frequency knob.
Yeah.
That's where all the money is, because it takes, some guy wrote a comment to a video on this where he said it takes all the farting out of his old Marshall. And that is absolutely right. It just removes that annoying bottom end that makes these non-master amps sound not very good.
Yeah. Frank's but clever guy. I think he's going to be one to watch for the future.
Absolutely.
I really do.
But as you can tell, there's a delay pedal.
Cool.
And it is it's from Emma Electronic, which is a Danish company that makes absolutely fantastic pedals. But everything else is, well, there's a wah and there's a compressor, and then there's the revival drive.
You know what, I've looked at that for so many years, and it's just a mouth-watering pedal, really, isn't it? I mean, how do you find it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I know a lot of guys who have said, oh no, look at all those knobs. But really, once the pedal has been set up to the amp you want to use it with, you just have, you can't see it, you just have a 2-channel overdrive.
Yeah.
All of this stuff down here is you don't really touch that once it has been set. And you can't see it on this. Yeah, maybe you can. It has even more knobs down on the front here.
Right.
But it's all made to tailor the pedal to fit the amp that it goes into, because the whole idea is that you can use this pedal with any amp. You can even plug it into a power amp, and then still get it to sound like a old Fender or Marshall, because that's what it does.
Yeah, the revival drive is definitely something it's on my want list for sure, and certainly the Cali 76 as well. I mean, Origin Effects are making some fantastic gear, aren't they?
It's absolutely incredible. It sounds fantastic. I mean, this is an 1176 compressor pushed into this little pedal format, so it has that sound. This is not a clean compressor. It has a sound to it. So you gotta check out if you like that sound before you go out and buy this pedal.
Yeah, it's
not like, I don't know what the Keeley compressors is. They're very clean, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, when I was choosing compressors myself, I went with the Keeley Compressor Plus, and I was looking at the Cali 76. And the Keeley Compressor Plus, it is nice. It's a little bit on the trebly side for me. So I have to, and I've heard a few people say this, and sort of back in the tone control back, just to get some of the bass frequencies, or just cut back some of the high frequencies. But it's a great feel. It's a great effect. I love it.
I actually never tried the Keeley compressor, so I won't know. But this one doesn't have a tone control.
Right.
It just has the sound that it has, and then the usual compressor knobs, ratio and attack and all that stuff.
And what wah are you using there?
It's the Exotic. I think it's just called the Exotic wah.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I think it sounds, it's not too trebly and it's not too bassy when it comes out of the box. And then it has on the side a few knobs you can tweak.
Yeah.
So if you have too much treble, you can cut a little back. If you have too much bass, you can boost a little. You can do you can do other things. And it even has some internal switches as well that I haven't really messed with, because I took it out of the box, I plugged it in, and I started turning the little knobs on the side. And after a while, they were back exactly where they started when they came out of the box.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it is a very, very good wah pedal. I really like it.
Yeah. And on the same, you got the EP booster there. See, I mean,
I do. It's placed as the last pedal in the chain, and it's turned all the way down actually, because I don't really use it to boost. If I want to boost something, I'm gonna go with the all you can boost. But I like the color of the EP booster. I like the way it sounds, and it fattens up things just a little. But the knob is all the way down. So sometimes it's always on, and sometimes it's not. It's a little different.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you next as to how you're using the EP boost in conjunction with it, particularly the revival drive.
I only use the EP for coloring, actually.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even when it is turned all the way down, it still boosts like 1 dB or 2 dB or something. It can't be turned all the way down, but at the lowest setting, that's what I have it.
Have you tried Frank's surreal pedal? Because that's
nope, not yet.
It's on a similar basis of the EP booster. So it's I forget which German delay effect it's emulating, but it's emulating the preamp from that, and it works on a similar type of basis.
Yeah.
And I suppose in some respects it's Frank's version of the EP boost, and it's a great effect. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
So give it a try sometime.
It really does that fattening up the tone. I think it's very good at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it has like all other boost pedals, it has kind of like the same problem with the low frequencies. You put this into a I don't know, an old Marshall or something, you get a lot of bottom end that you have to deal with.
Yeah. And are you generally using single coils, or are you using humbuckers?
Well, I'd say pretty much 50-50.
Yeah. So will you use the EP boost mainly for your single coils, or what times are you bringing the EP boost in?
Yeah, that kind of depends on, almost kind of depends on my mood. Sometimes I turn it on and then I leave it on and then I just play with it on. Yeah. There's no real pattern to when it's on or off, and I can't say that if I use a single coil guitar, then I turn it on, and if I use humbuckers, I do not. It varies a lot. I actually like that experimental thing where you turn different things on and see where it goes.
Yeah. And is the or you can boost, is that first in your chain, or is it after the wah?
Yeah. Yeah, the wah comes first.
Yeah.
It goes, actually the tuner comes first. There's a little polytune. Yeah. And then to the wah, then to the no, then it goes to the compressor. From the wah to the compressor to the all you can boost.
Yep.
To the revival drive, to the Norvang, which is another Danish pedal, the big black one down there at the bottom.
Oh yes. What is that?
Yeah.
So what's that?
It's from a Danish pedal builder who's called Norvang.
Okay.
He makes some really boutique kind of stuff, expensive and extremely well built.
And what is it?
This one is called
a drive pedal, or?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dual drive, and it is made to emulate two pedals, but I'm afraid I can't remember which two it is.
Probably
Sorry,
some form of blues breaker and something like that. And
yeah, exactly. One side is a blues breaker, and the other side is I can't remember.
I will look it up.
But you can check out the Norvang website and find out. He makes he has a series of 3 pedals, and he just actually re-released one of the first pedals he made again, and he makes some amazing stuff.
Yep. And what's the one to your right hand now?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a line mixer.
Right.
And I have that. It's an exotic line mixer. It's called what's it called? Xplenda.
Oh yeah.
From Exotic.
Yeah, I've seen that about.
And what it does is that it mixes in the delay signal from the delay pedal down in the corner.
Right.
The delay pedal is set to kill dry mode, so there's no dry signal coming out.
Right.
And I don't know, it's a thing I have, that I don't want my signal to go through a digital effect if I can avoid it.
Right.
So I don't have to I don't have to deal with the converters.
Yes. Yeah.
Because all the delay pedal is doing right now is sending out delay, and then the Xplenda is mixing it in with the dry signal. So I'm not running through the delay pedal. And I know it is a little, it's nonsense, because the converters in newer delay pedals are so good that it doesn't make any difference. Yeah. I could easily run through this delay pedal and I wouldn't notice the difference. I wouldn't hear any difference. But I don't know. I just have my Xplenda, and I've used it on all the delay pedals I've ever had on this board.
And it works nicely.
Yeah, it works great. And then you have this very big knob right here, which is the volume to loop 1, where the delay pedal is. So if the signal is a little low, you can just turn it up. It's so big you can handle this with your feet when you're playing.
Perfect. And no fuzz on there.
No fuzz on there, no. Not at the moment.
Right.
I have actually not really been that much of a fuzz guy.
I haven't. I've never really been into fuzz. I've been more into overdrive and boost, to be fair.
But over the last couple of years, I have actually more or less learned to love fuzz pedals. I just don't have a fuzz that I want to put on here at the moment, but I have. They have grown on me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've always been more overdrive and boost. I'm getting more into fuzz, and Stuart Tate from Tate Effects actually, because he said to me, he says as soon as you start, it does hook you in a bit, and I am starting more, and it is starting to hook me in. And there's, oh yes, that was what I was going to say. You mentioned at the start that you said you got a pedal into demo, and it was quite a heavy sounding. Dirty. That was it. The deep metal. I was playing some pedals, some fuzz from Dirty Haggard, and they're of the same, and it reminded me of that. The Dirty Haggard fuzz pedals are really sort of, well, some of them are quite bass heavy, and it's just really nice fuzzes. But yeah, I'm certainly getting more into fuzz, that's for sure. So
yeah. I like the thing about the fuzz that I'm beginning to love is that it almost sounds broken.
Yeah.
It is actually really, really funny to play guitar with this almost broken amp sound, where you don't really know what's coming out when you hit the low E string. You're really pounding it. It's just weird things coming out of the speaker. I really like that. And then I like the when you turn the volume down, those fuzzes that can handle that. It's not all fuzzes that can do that trick, but those who can, they sound absolutely amazing on a Strat on the neck pickup. We roll the volume down into one of those fuzzes.
Yeah,
that is a really cool sound that I'm getting more and more into.